Hi, Colin here, and today we're going to look at attitude and the effect it has in sales. Now, you may have seen or read some articles from life coaches that talk about the importance of having a great attitude. You may agree with them, you may disagree with them, but one thing's for sure, I'm not going to tell you to leap out of bed and scream how fantastic today is going to be. I'm not even going to tell you to run across hot coals before breakfast. Now, I'm certainly not going to do that. But one thing we need to agree on is that we can never escape our attitude. We can never hide from it. We're always projecting our attitude. The way we walk, the way we talk, the way we close the car door, the way we comb our hair, we are projecting an attitude. And people are forming opinions about us based on our attitude that we are projecting. So it certainly influences people as well. In sales, it's essential because we want our clients to like us. So if we're projecting this attitude and they are perceiving and receiving these signals and they're forming judgments about us, then we want it to be positive. So it makes sense that a positive attitude is going to have a positive impact on our prospects, and a negative attitude is going to project a negative response when it comes to the purchase decision. So this is all about controlling our attitude. So what we're going to look at is we're going to look at how to develop a great attitude and, more importantly, how to maintain it. So let's get into this. To create a great attitude and to maintain a great attitude, this takes 3 steps. Step number one is mindset. Now, a lot of people get confused to what mindset actually is. So let me give you an example. Imagine the Olympic Games, the 100-meter final. The athletes are ready to go. When they hear the words "on your marks," what do you think is going through their mind? Win. There is no other distractions. It is single-mindedness. It is total focus on the job in hand. They're not even running yet. It is moments before they start, but their mind is ready. And that mindset is going to affect their performance in the race. This is exactly the same in sales. Before we meet our prospects, before we start our sales presentations, it's important that we're in the ready zone. And that's exactly what mindset is. Without a great mindset, there can be no building blocks to make a great attitude, let alone maintain it. So we need to have a solid foundation. If the mindset is not that great, then the foundation is not that great. And the building blocks of attitude, well, they're going to rock around and eventually they're going to fall. So to create a mindset is to create a solid foundation for attitude. So how do we actually get a great mindset? Well, I'm going to show you a technique that I have shared with hundreds of salespeople, and it works. It takes patience and it certainly takes practice. But if you master this, I promise you it will pay you back tenfold. So you don't need to do this now, but when you get a few moments, take yourself away somewhere quiet. And what I want you to do is think about a moment in your life when you felt elation, when you felt great. Maybe it was your wedding day, maybe it was your firstborn, or you won a sporting event, or you passed an exam. Something in your life where you felt elation. And when you're creating this in your mind, I want you to pinch your thumb and forefinger together. Think about the elation. Pinch your thumb and forefinger together. Keep doing this, because what you're doing, you're training your mind to recognize that when you do this, the elation is there in an instant. This creates a solid foundation because it gives you a great mindset without distraction. The second step into building a great attitude is positive thinking. To create a great mindset, that's one thing. To maintain it, that's another. It's like an engine. Suppose there's a drop of fuel in it. Sure, the car will start, but once that fuel is burned, the engine is going to stop. That is the same with mindset. So positive thinking is the fuel that actually gives mindset longevity. So what is positive thinking? Positive thinking is all about perception. During life, we are going to get challenges and situations. How we perceive them is the key to positive thinking. We can look at them as a problem, or we can look at them as a solvable situation with opportunity to grow. Some of the greatest professionals I've ever worked with have always thought it's a solvable situation with room to grow. These are people that are so successful in sales because they have this mentality. They've practiced it so much, it's become habit. People that look at the other way, at the problem, well, they suddenly start to go down the blame route. They will look at the reason the clients are not going to buy. They will look at the reasons why the clients have made up excuses. The people that actually look at the positive side or have positive thinking, they're always solution orientated. They are literally looking for solutions all the time. Now, positive thinking needs practice. A habit, in my opinion, is easy to replace than to break. So if you've been in the situation for some time of always thinking on the negative side, why is it always me, and blame, well, you're like a lot of people. That seems to be the norm. But if you replace those thoughts with positive thoughts, if you look for the opportunity, then it will become habit. It will simply replace the train of thought from the negative to the train of thought to the positive. And I'm going to give you a technique on how to do this. It's called respond, not react. It does exactly what it says. When you're faced with a situation, when you're faced with a challenge, never react. Reacting is a knee-jerk reaction. It's something you do instantaneous, without real thought. And nothing seldom good ever comes out of reacting. Instead, respond. Responding is where you assess the facts. You look at the situation, you take a breath, you pause. When you respond, you are actually doing something through thought. You are looking at consequence. And if you look at the situation and you look for the positive, the opportunity, the room to grow, then this is responding. So clients' objections, things like this in sales, if you respond, it's always much more powerful and it's much more positive. The other thing, skip the morning news. Nothing ever good comes out of the morning news. In the morning, get your mindset ready, but also get your positive thinking on the right path. Play some upbeat music. Have a photograph with you that reminds you of a really good time. Look at some motivational, inspirational quotes on the internet. This is also a really good way to start you with positive thinking. The other thing, tell friends that you're going to start positive thinking, because if you trip up, they are going to be the first ones to pick you up there. Also, when you're in bed at night, just take about 30 seconds and reflect on the great stuff that's actually happened during today. Also, set goals, but don't make them too hard. Make them achievable and celebrate them. Because when you celebrate wins, when you celebrate goals achieved, it's a reward for your mind and it fuels the positive thinking. Positive thinking, if used like this, will become a habit. Repetition forms habit. So if you keep thinking positive thoughts, if you look for the opportunities, if you look at the room to grow, what will happen is every single time that a situation or challenge arises, you will instantly go for the positive. You will instantly look for the opportunity. And just remember, this positive thinking fuels the mindset. The third step is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm comes from the Greek word enthus, which means inward God, and that's exactly what it is. If you've got a great mindset and it's being fueled by positive thinking, then enthusiasm is simply a byproduct. Enthusiasm is really hard to fake, and serious enthusiasm, that's even harder. But if you've got this positive thinking attitude, if you've suddenly got a mindset that's being fueled with these positive thoughts, then enthusiasm is going to be felt in your core. And what actually happens is this energy needs to be released, and it comes out as body language. So the smile on your face is sincere. The spring in your step is real, and enthusiasm is extremely contagious. Enthusiasm can warm even the coldest of prospects. It'll make you radiate. It'll make people want to know you. And once again, this is all about getting client confidence and trust. And they just cannot help themselves. They'll have to go along with you. I once read an article many years ago, and I still stand by this today. It was a quote that basically said, the sales you will lose from being over enthusiastic is insignificant to the amount of sales you will achieve with the same enthusiasm. So always be enthusiastic. You can also fuel the enthusiasm. Even though the mindset being fueled by positive thinking is giving you this enthusiasm, you can actually add to it. And here's a few tips. Book a restaurant, somewhere where you'd like to go, maybe a weekend away, a couple of weeks in advance. Look forward to it, because that looking forward to it is real and it's fueling the enthusiasm. Feel good about the changes that you're making. Feel good about the positive impact this is having in your life. This enthusiasm will get you more sales, I promise. So that's today's topic. It's all about having a great attitude and maintaining it. And that is done by the mindset, it's done by positive thinking, and the byproduct, which is enthusiasm. I really hope you're enjoying these videos. And if you are, hit a like. And also, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss another sales tip. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I hope you've gained something. And until the next time, take care.